We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the U.S.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mayhemtainment. I am your host, the bad guy, J.D., along with my co-host for all of our wrestling content is the one and only Wolfman. Yep, I just stole a little bit of Connor's catchphrase there. I did. So a little shout out to Connor, who was just on an episode a couple days ago with the Diamonds. Go check that out. It was a live episode. It's up on all our channels. So, but wanted to give him a little shout out as well. But Wolfman, we're going to talk about some AEW stuff and Beach Blast. I think it was called. Was it Beach Blast?
Beach Break.
Beach Break.
AEW Beach Break.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a little AEW Beach Break, as well as just some other general AEW stuff. So, what were your thoughts on Beach Break before we get to the main event? Because we know that's what we want to talk about. But other than the main event, what did you think of the rest of the show?
I thought the matches were actually very well thought out. The opponents for each contender were very well worked through for story, and the story makes sense. I wouldn't agree with a few of them, the results, but it was a good show.
I think so too. I thought it was pretty good. I was happy with most of the matches. I didn't really have I thought I'm a big fan of AEW, as we both are. So it's going to take something pretty legitimate for us to actually have a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any match other than the main event that stuck out to you in that event?
The who was it? Will Ospreay and John Moxley? The Beach Break, where it was him and Moxley versus, I can't remember their names.
Oh, yeah, the tag match.
I can't think of their names offhand.
Hold on one second. I'm also trying to share our live stream out to groups and stuff. So I'm trying to do a couple things at once here.
Yeah, but anyway, whoever they are, no offense. I thought when Will Ospreay literally flipped the heavier guy upside down and pile drived him was pretty impressive, because Will Ospreay is probably like $175 wet, soaking wet.
Yeah.
So
I'm really trying to find the card here. It's being a pain in my everything to just try and find this real quick. Okay, so you were talking about Moxley and Ospreay against Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake, the workhorsemen. They are they were on Dark and Elevation when the show was around. They've been with AEW for a little while. They're not I wouldn't say that they're anything spectacular. They're a fine tag team. You know what I mean? They're good in the ring, and they can put over whoever they need. And I don't know how many wins they actually have, which has always been one of my concerns in all of wrestling, not just in AEW. Is just only having jobber tag teams or people who are jobbers where they're going to lose.
yeah.
Now
was pretty
AEW does that
much-
sometimes, but they also usually include local talent. So at least the local talent's getting a chance to be on TV and stuff when they do some of that.
Yeah. Show
So
their
the
talent.
Workhorsemen, not bad. They're a fine tag team. I think the John Moxley Will Ospreay tag team that they're. I don't know. You never know with Tony Khan. Is he giving us that tag team because maybe he wants to put the belts on them and have them do a run together, or do they? Is it just one of those things where he just wanted to see them operate as a tag team one time, which is one of the things that I'm a fan of with AEW, is that they put a lot of teams together, unlike WWE, who splits apart every tag team throughout their history. AEW will put two singles guys together and create like an all-star tag team for a short run, and then they break up, which is fine. But I don't know if that's what this is. Is it just a one-off? Is it going to be a long-term thing? I'm not sure.
I did feel bad for Takeshita though.
For who? Takeshita?
Yeah, because that last move when he was dropped on the back of his neck on the top turnbuckle, that looked like it hurt. I've actually been put through that move, and it nearly paralyzed me.
Yeah, it's that was the first title change to happen. Was Kyle Fletcher beating Takeshita for the international championship. I'm a fan of Tommaso Ciampa, so he defeated Jericho. I thought that was interesting. They're clearly going to build something. Maybe Jericho doesn't usually do a lot of random matches. He usually likes to build programs with people, which is one of the reasons I'm glad to see him back, because people always, there's a lot of hate out there about AEW. As we know, Wolfman, a lot of it comes from just tribalism, and they don't want to like it, so therefore they're not going to. And then there's people who just don't like AEW, and that's fine, right? You don't have to like AEW, right? Mm-hmm. We stopped covering WWE because we didn't want to just have a podcast where we crapped on them all the time.
Yeah.
Right? We started I've never been a huge fan of WWE. You started not really becoming a fan of WWE, and instead of making a show where we just crapped on them, twice a month, we decided, hey, let's just go to AEW. We'll start covering AEW because we like that. There's positive things we can talk about. We're not going to contribute to the negativity or the downfall of WWE.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for them to fail. It's just we're not really a fan of what they're putting on television right now.
No, because it's the same stuff every week.
Yeah, but some people do still like it. That's what I'm saying. Like, some people still do like it. We have chosen we don't like it as much anymore. So rather than talk about it and crap on it, because there's enough of that going on in all of wrestling. We want to talk about what we like about wrestling, and that's why we're talking about AEW instead of WWE these days.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle Fletcher changes the belt, takes the belts. Ciampa and Jericho. Jericho's great for that long-term storytelling that a lot of people say don't exist in the AEW. I'll say one of my standouts, dude, was the women's match, the 8-women casino gauntlet match. There's one downfall. What do you have to say about it?
I just thought it was kind of interesting that one of the entrancees in that match was the person that had to vacate the title.
No, you're thinking of the TBS title.
Oh, okay.
Willow Nightingale did have to vacate the TBS title when she was champion because she had an injury. She just spent a couple of months off, actually. But this was for the number one contender for the women's world championship, is what this match was. Yeah.
Against that.
Willow Nightingale is the one who won. She was coincidentally, and I'm not really a big fan of this, but it's fine. It's not like I'm complaining about it. It's fine. Willow Nightingale was the number 8 participant. She's the one that ended up winning. The one thing that I didn't like about this match, because I thought it was a great match, everybody did good. The way they rotated it was a very unique match style where they each came down at different intervals, and kind of this round robin type deal, but almost a battle royal potential as well. It was a great match. The one thing that I didn't like about it, was that you had Sky Blue and Julia Hart in this match, and they both ended up losing.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of both of them. And I think it's time for them to either get a tag title run or for them to start doing some singles matches and at least get another, like Julia Hart was the TBS champion. She had a great reign with the TBS title when it was new. I think it's time for her to get another shot, or at least maybe give Sky Blue a run with it. If you're going to keep the title on Thekla, I think it's still time for the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue, to start getting some of their flowers. I think they're deserving of it. I think they're both great, and they deserve more than they've been getting out of AEW. So that is my only complaint about the match, is that they were in it, both of them, and neither one of them came out the victor. I understand storytelling wise why they did that. But I'm tired of seeing them lose. I don't want to see them turn into Thekla's jobbers. I want to see them win and flourish. So, let's get it. Now, we did see them, what was it, in the Dynamite? Before Beach Break, we saw they kind of did a little something. The tag champs, who are, these Amazons, Sky Blue and Julia Hart, when they face the current tag champs, if that's what they're setting up, are the smaller of the team. It's weird for the heels to be the underdog. And I'm wondering if maybe they're going to try and push Julia Hart and Sky Blue as faces and then try and portray the other ones, the Amazons, as heels. But either way, we saw them attack Julia Hart and Sky Blue at Beach Break, I think it was, actually, or it was on a Dynamite. So I'm hoping that they're going to set them up, that Julia Hart and Sky Blue are going to get a chance to go after the tag champions, the women's tag champions, and I hope that they win.
Yeah. I thought Beach Break was a whole lot better than any WWE pay-per-view I've seen in a while.
Yeah, and that's pretty sad considering that this is just one of their TV events. And not even like a full-on AEW payper-view card. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just wish I could afford to do the pay-per-views, but they're too expensive for me right now.
They're only $40. They're not like 60 or 70 or 80 like WWE's. They're only $40.
Yeah, still.
I get it, but we'll have to talk about that after the show. Other ways maybe you can see what's going on with that. I, for one, I'm actually considering, even though I can watch them however I want, whenever I want, but I'm even going to probably pay for some of the AEW pay-per-views for the rest of this year. I want to see them succeed, and I can do that by paying for their pay-per-views as a fan, right? Even if I can have access to them free, or I can go somewhere and watch them for less money, I'm still going to probably buy them from time to time, and we might even do a few watch-alongs with the AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing that sometime maybe next year once I have more money.
Yeah. And we'll talk. We'll talk. But we're considering doing a watch-along, one or two watch-alongs, maybe just one or two. Because we're not doing a lot of wrestling watch-alongs these days. We've got some feedback on it, and a lot of people don't like how the time is different, how you can't really line up what you're watching with how we're calling it. It makes it really difficult. And with a wrestling show, that really matters. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to be doing as many wrestling watch-alongs, but we will do them from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually heard something interesting about a certain WWE wrestler that is in AEW now. He wants to change his gimmick.
Who's that?
The Big Show.
Oh, I don't think the Big Show. I hear the Big Show's retired. He's not getting back in the ring.
He wants to retire in AEW, and he was thinking about bringing Captain Insano.
I saw that rumor too, but I've also saw reports that Paul White has literally said no, he's done because of his knee or his ankle or whatever his injury was. He doesn't think he's getting back in the ring.
Okay, because last time I saw a picture of him, he did not look good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's not. I don't know that he's getting in the ring. I really don't. I would love to see Captain Insano in the ring just for one match. I would love to see it. And I think that's what the plan was that he was going to be Captain Insano for one match so he could retire a wrestler in AEW. And I hope to see, but I don't think he's coming back. After his last surgery or whatever had happened, I don't think he's going to be making it back. His recovery didn't go the way he wanted. So I don't think we see Paul White, Big Show, AKA old school WCW guys, the Giant, in a wrestling AEW ring as a performer. I
No.
hope that he stays with AEW, and I hope that he does something backstage. I wouldn't mind seeing him on commentary. Though AEW's commentary is a little bit crazy right now, and we'll talk about that maybe in a few minutes. But I wouldn't mind seeing him. I would like him to stay in AEW, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in an on-air role, even if it's in a commentating type role. That would be completely fine with me.
When last time I did with my dad at a wrestling event, we went to see the Big Show's movie Knuckleheads.
I've never seen that actually.
It's pretty much about the Big Show being a orphan at an orphanage, and he gets discovered into the underground wrestling ring, like lucha underground kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. But like, I went to see the premiere because they were doing that because Bragging Rights was at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I found out the Big Show was supposed to be at the Mall of America at the movie theater for the premiere. I went there with my dad, and he didn't show up.
Oh, yeah?
The Big Show didn't show.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little disappointed because I was a big fan of the Big Show.
Yeah. I can't believe WCW got rid of him back during the Monday Night Wars. Talk about a huge loss.
Yeah.
How do you not pay him what he wants so that he can stay?
That
was crazy. That was a huge loss for that was one of those big ones for WCW when they lost him, despite what they think. That was a huge
He was putting
loss.
asses in seats, that's for sure.
Yeah. And he was also, listen, you have Kevin Nash, and you had some other big guys. Like you had a little bit of a land of giants in WCW. Getting rid of him, you kind of lost that. But
the Giant Gonzalez.
No, not him. But he was terrible. But I meant in WCW, like there was a couple of other big, large wrestlers, usually in the Dungeon of Doom at that time. But we're getting off on a tangent. Back to AEW. So let's talk about the main event now. Kenny Omega against MJF for the AEW World Title. The match was really good. A couple of false endings, but not as many as we saw at the last pay-per-view event for the main event with Swerve and Will Ospreay. That was too many. This one was fine. The overall match was really great. I would definitely give the match itself a 4.5 out of 5 Jolly Rogers in terms of the main event. And Kenny Omega wins the world title, Wolfman.
Yep, I watched it, and I kind of saw it was going to happen because I don't know what MJF did to his leg. I think he landed on it wrong or something, but he really screwed it up.
He's had it taped up. He's had it bandaged for probably the last, I want to say 2 months or 3 months, I think.
But whatever he did, I think he screwed it up worse.
I think he's been, I don't know what the plan was, but I think that likely, I don't know. They clearly, from a business standpoint, they put the belt on Kenny Omega to set up Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to sell out the house. That match alone is going to sell out the UK stadium that they go to. Okay, absolutely 100%. They're going to sell that place out, which is good for the AEW bottom line. And it's always good to have a full house when you're putting on a good show. So that's why I think Kenny Omega won. But could there have been a secondary reason that maybe MJF is really injured? Maybe he really did injure his leg a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, and maybe I don't know if I buy that he actually injured it in this match with Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? Like I don't know that he actually injured it during this match.
His acting was pretty good.
I think they set it up that way actually intentionally because I think he has been having a problem with his leg. And as I said, he's been having the whole thing bandaged for quite a while now.
It looked like a mummy leg.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's had it real bandaged up. I can't believe he's been wrestling the way he has, even with whatever's wrong. So I think he might have been injured for a while now. And just finally they were like, okay, you got to get it fixed or you got to take time off and let it heal or whatever. So I think it was a dual purpose. I do think that Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega is going to sell out the house at Wembley. But I do believe MJF might be injured or have an injury problem, and that's why he lost the belt as well.
Hopefully, if he has a speedy recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an MJF fan, so I want to definitely see him back. We'll see what's going to happen with Kenny Omega. I don't mind that Kenny Omega gets another title run. He's a founder of AEW. He certainly deserved it, especially after everything he's gone through to battle his way back up. So I think they'll put on a great show. We're not doing predictions. We're going to save that. We're going to save the prediction show for when we get closer because we need to see more. But at this point, I wouldn't know who wins. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Will Ospreay. It seems like they really want to put the belt on him.
It's going to be one hell of a match, though. God knows who's going to win.
Yeah. So we'll wait and see how things unfold over the next few weeks and then give our predictions at the prediction show. But that's the way it's set up. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Wembley. We know that that's going to be the main event. No question. So MJF, if he takes some time off, I don't think the AEW is hurting for people to step up like that. Like, you got Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, but who do you think steps up after that? Let's assume MJF is taking some time off or he's injured or something. Who do you think is next to step up into the world title picture?
I would like to see Jon Moxley, but I think he was just the champion not too long ago.
And he was a champion for a long time, I believe. I believe he might have been champion for over a year before they had him drop the belt. It was the initial Death Rider run.
Yeah, so I would like to see what he does with that.
That's interesting. He's still the Continental Champion right now.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to put the world title on him too. See, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think if you want to put Moxley back in it, you gotta have him run his course, whatever he's doing with the Continental title. I think you can't have him. You got too many people. There's too many people right now to put two belts on one person.
Yeah, it's like the Mercedes Moné kind of thing. Like
what do you mean about that?
Like she already had like all those other championship belts, and like one person should not have all those titles all at once.
That's a little different. I argue that's a little different. I think those indie companies got a lot of followers and got a lot of recognition they wouldn't have gotten otherwise without that run. So I don't have a problem with that. And that's the perspective I look at it when it comes to that with Mercedes Moné. All those core companies put their belt on them because she was going to take it out on TV with her. And
great publicity.
Yeah, the searches I actually looked it up. The searches for those 9 companies that she had, or 8 companies in AEW, she was the TBS champion. But the search engine statistics for those companies went up like something like 500%.
Damn.
While she was doing that run. So I don't have a problem with that because I know why she did it. She did it to get recognition to a lot of these other companies. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's overall good for wrestling. But I think in AEW, there's so many belts right now. If you're going to have all these belts, start putting them on the same person. I don't know about that. Belts is another thing. AEW has a little case of belt-itis. There's a lot of different championships. So
yeah.
I don't like doubling up right now. I think you have a great roster, and I think you need to keep the belts, keep the storyline separate with the belts. Don't start overlapping too much. I'd like to Swerve Strickland get back into it. What do you think?
That would be interesting, but I did see a little blurb at the end of that event where it was announced that Jungle Boy is back.
Yeah, he just had to run with the national title. Another title in AEW. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're following along, okay, the AEW's got the World Heavyweight title. These are just singles titles. They have the AEW title. They have the TNT title. Those were the 2 first belts that they had, okay? From there, we have the international title, the continental title, and the national title.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5 singles titles, 4, not counting the world title, but 5 singles titles. That's a little too many, in my opinion. I think if you were running 3 shows a week and you had a deeper roster, maybe, but I think that's a little too much, in my opinion. I don't think those are the continent. Why do we have a international champion, a continental champion, and a national champion? Doesn't it seem like those 3 belts should only take up 2 championships, right? Not 3. That's kind of my thing. But Jungle Boy, he just had the run with the national title. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him getting a chance. I don't know if he's ready to be the world champion, though, man. I don't know. We'll see.
I do remember back when I was still living in my old hometown in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I was at an indie show and I got to actually see Jungle Boy before he became AEW at
Oh,
an
yeah.
indie show. He was good.
He is good. He is good. I like that they paired him back up with Luchasaurus, who I know is likely, it's looking to me like he's reaching the end of his career.
Yeah.
He might be on his last run or two as well. He's had to take he's had problems with his knees. He's had to take some time off because of his knees. AEW tried to switch him up and give him that whole gimmick with Christian when he was Kill Switch.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really care for that. Didn't really make sense to me because they kind of made him like a Kane-esque kind of a character, and I wasn't really a fan of that. I like Luchasaurus. I think you could make him a bad guy if you wanted to make him a bad guy.
Well, yeah, with a name like Luchasaurus.
Yeah. So I like bringing him back. Honestly, what I wouldn't mind seeing, and I don't know if because he's not Jungle Boy anymore. Remember that. He's Jungle Jack Perry. Because
Oh, that's right.
he also tried to switch up his gimmick and tried to go in a different direction. It didn't really work. But as soon as he went back to the Jungle gimmick, the crowd was all over it. So he's Jungle Jack Perry. I wouldn't mind seeing them. I don't know if you were a fan way back when AEW started, but do you remember Marco Stunt?
Does not ring a bell.
He's a guy that's shorter and smaller than Jungle Boy or Jungle Jack Perry. But they were the Lucha Express. The three of them made up the Lucha Express. Marco Stunt was the little guy. Jack Perry was like the guy in the middle, and then Luchasaurus was the big tall guy.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't mind, especially now that there's a trios championship. I wouldn't mind seeing Marco Stunt back and them just reforming, Lucha Express completely and doing a 3-man run. I wouldn't mind that either. I don't know if Jungle Jack Perry's down for that, but I wouldn't mind seeing it as a fan.
It'd be interesting, but I still remember when I got to see Jungle Boy, he was good. I'm like, this guy's got a future.
Yeah, I hope we get to see him as a world champion at some point. Like I said, he just had a good run with the national championship. I think he needs to work on his mic skills, and I think he's got potential. And I hope AEW keeps him under lockdown.
Yeah, you don't want to lose Jungle Jack.
You could always push Chris Jericho back to the world title anytime if MJF is injured. I honestly suspect that they're going to probably give Brody King a run with the title, which I'm not really a fan of. So I'm not a fan of Brody King. I'm not a fan of Brody King for personal reasons, not necessarily wrestling reasons, but I'm also no longer the biggest fan of his in the ring. I liked him with the House of Black when Malachi or Aleister Black was with AEW. I liked him in the House of Black. I thought that he made it, but since then, even they tried the Hounds of Hell is what they tried to after they lost Malachi Black. They tried to become the Hounds of Hell, and then of course they lost. Man, I can't remember his name. I'm totally drawing a blank on his name now. The third guy. He ended up hurting himself really bad, and I don't even know if he'll be coming back to wrestling. And then they had to pivot from that, and it's just Brody King's not. I don't think Brody King, this anti-establishment, anti-ice establishment gimmick that he's been portraying, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think it's very good. I'm not a fan of it for many different reasons, and I also don't think it's very good from a fan's perspective either. So I don't want to see Brody King as the world champion. What are your thoughts on Brody King?
I really don't care about Brody King. It's like,
yeah.
I just thought of another name. I don't know if he's been champion in world champion, but what about Adam Copeland?
I don't know if listen, man, and I've been seeing some of this stuff on pages and stupid group pages and posts and crap like that too. That Tony Khan has lost the anti AEW by picking up a lot of WWE cast-offs and picking them up. And I just don't buy that at all. That's why I don't buy any of the hate for AEW. It all comes from a place of just tribalism.
Mm-hmm.
Copeland and Christian are good wrestlers. You have good wrestlers on your roster that you could have them run programs with, like FTR, which was a great feud. Edge and Christian versus FTR was a great feud. So I don't. While I don't mind picking up some WWE guys and then letting them get over, letting them become champions. I'm not a super fan of having someone like Edge or Christian really be world champions right now. There's too many other young guys coming up and good wrestlers you have to put your belt on an Edge or a Christian, or even really Moxley might even, and that's or not Moxley.
Darby Allin.
Moxley could probably get another run, but like even excuse me, Jericho, Edge, Christian, do they need to be world champion again? I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they need the belts. I don't think they need it. So I don't know that I want to see them get any more world title reigns. I don't know that they need it.
Has Darby Allin been a world champion?
Yeah, he had a good run. He beat MJF.
Okay.
He kicked him in the nuts, schoolboyed him, and then got the pinfall. And then he defended the belt every single week. He had the belt, and then he lost it to MJF at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And that's when MJF got it back. And then MJF's been reigning since he just lost it to Kenny Omega. And MJF beat they had him beat the Briscoe.
Yep.
So like, and people were like, oh, then why do they even give him the shot? It's like, dude, you have to have people challenge for the title. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like the Hogan run where we don't, if there's not a good storyline or it's not something that leads us into 3 months, then we don't see the world champion defend the belt for 3 months.
Then why do we have a champion?
Yeah. So, and why did they make Briscoe the number one contender? So that he could challenge MJF, so that MJF could beat him and keep the belt in a hard match to put over MJF as a still legitimate reigning champion. You
To
can't
build up
always,
to the Kenny Omega.
Yeah. You can't always get what you want. You can't. Oh, why do they have him challenge? So it was a good match.
Yeah.
Why did they put it on Dynamite? So that they didn't have to wait to do their plan, so that they could give Kenny Omega the belt, so that they could have him and Will Ospreay.
Yep.
At Wembley. You may not like any of those decisions, but they're all reasonable and quite legitimate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and I don't, like I said, I like seeing the belt defended more often than just once a month. Don't make me see it at pay-per-views. And don't always change the belt at a pay-per-view. We just saw it at Beach Break. That's when Kenny Omega beat MJF. There's no reason. It's fine. I was a little shocked that they didn't put that on for a pay-per-view because it was a really good match.
Yeah.
But there's no reason you can't have a rematch for it down the line. That's what I'm saying. You guys, nobody's thinking about all these matches that they have and how it can set up things in the future. That's what a lot of haters in AEW always complain about is storylines. And, I don't understand. Well, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that other people don't and other people think it's good. Wrestling is very subjective. You like what you like, and there's plenty of companies out there that you can go watch whatever you want. You know what I mean? You're going to find something you like. And that's the way it should be. Why should we all be confined to WWE for our wrestling content? We shouldn't have to be. And let me say, go watch some indie wrestling, because that's where a lot of these wrestlers that you're seeing today, they came up in indie wrestling. They didn't just immediately get deals. So go watch some indie wrestling. You're also going to see good wrestling at indie wrestling.
And you never know. You might see a AEW wrestler before he becomes AEW.
Yeah, you might even see Wolfman. So that's what I'm saying. Go see indie wrestling too. But all right, back to AEW. Now that I got that little rant over. What else? Any other AEW stuff do you want to talk about this week?
I just think the matches lately that I've been seeing have exceeded my expectations of AEW compared to what I've been watching in WWE, because they have more creative ideas about storylines, the opponents, the competitors, the style of matches, the length of a match, if it's going to be a no holds barred, if it's going to be held in this arena or that arena. It's more thought out.
I agree with you.
Instead of just throwing shit up together.
Yeah, some of the matches are a little on the fast side, but not all the matches are. I think they do a good balance with the length of their matches. I'm a fan. I don't know what else to say other than that. Or do they do everything perfect? No, of course not.
No.
But I don't know any wrestling company that does everything perfect or the way I want to see it. That's not why you watch wrestling.
No, I don't think there's
So-
anything that's perfect.
Okay, so let's talk about the future of Mayhem's wrestling content right now and what we have coming up next, Wolfman. Okay.
All right.
So we have actually Redemption, AEW Redemption. All In is not the next pay-per-view. I want to talk about that. They're doing some long-term storytelling for All In, which is August 30th.
Wow.
Sunday, August 30th is when AEW All In is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, they have AEW Redemption. That is a legitimate pay-per-view, an AEW pay-per-view coming up July 26th. We will do a prediction show for that pay-per-view. Stay tuned for details on when we'll do that. We will definitely not do a watch-along for AEW Redemption unless something crazy comes along or I am super bored. So, but we will do a prediction show, and then we will do a recap show the following week. We'll be doing prediction and then recap shows on AEW pay-per-views. So make sure you check that out. But we got that coming up even next. That's what's next for the next AEW pay-per-view. And then in Wednesday, AEW Dynamite does another one of their special events, their non-pay-per-view events, and it's called Grand Slam Mexico. I don't know that that'll be just like we'll treat that just like we did Beach Break right now, where we likely won't do a prediction show for that, but we will we'll plan on one of our bi-weekly episodes or one of our talk episodes around that event so that we can talk about it after it happens. That's what we're looking at. And then All In August 30th. So we are going to be doing at least one episode a month where we're just kind of generally talking about AEW, potentially more, but at least one. And then we will do a prediction show and a wrap up or a recap show for the pay-per-views whenever they happen. Now, AEW doesn't do full-on pay-per-views every single month.
Nope.
So there will be some months where we won't have a prediction show and a recap show. With those months, we might double up and do 2 talk shows.
Okay.
So, but that's the way we're looking for Mayhem Media and the way we pivoted our wrestling company. So, our wrestling company, our wrestling coverage. So look for that, and remember to stay tuned. We'll be doing all AEW stuff, and then even when Connor Clarkson comes back, he says he wants to get back into WWE. So we're not completely done with WWE, but when he comes back, we'll probably do some WWE segments as well. But as long as it's me and Wolfman, we are going to be talking AEW, not WWE. Did I forget anything, Wolfman?
Not wrestling.
All right, then let's plug some stuff. Marcus Fredrickson he's going to play us out as he plays us in and out of every episode of Mayhem Media and Mayhemtainment. Go check him out, reverbnation.com/Marcus Fredrickson, and share out your favorite song. We have the apparel. Are you wearing your shirt today? It doesn't look like it. You got camo on. I am wearing my variation. I'm not raising my seat up right now. It's my variant, the JD variant of the Mayhem Media logo. So go pick up some of that, or pick up the Wolfman variant, or pick up the Connor Clarkson variant, or pick up the Mayhem's Ecto variant, or pick up the Mizpah variant of the Mayhem Media logo. And of course, don't forget, we are the only place that you can find the Diamond Cartel apparel exclusively on the Mayhem Media storefront, and that's at bonfire.com/store/Mayhem Media shop. Check it out and pick up some apparel. Stay tuned to our Facebook page, and I'm going to try and get our Twitter, our X or Twitter feed a little bit more active again. But if you tune into our Facebook, look for promo codes. I'll be releasing new promo codes out over the next week for the storefront. Yeah. All right. I think that's where we're going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Leave us a comment, hit that share button. And until next time, for the Wolfman, I am your host, the bad guy of podcasting, JD. And that's the end.